Hello and welcome to Games from Folktales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. I'm your host, Timothy Ferguson. Today, the self-made man is a monster. I've been listening to The Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell, and he made an interesting point about mystagogic initiations that struck me as at the crux of many of our problems in terms of mystery cult play in Ars Magica. The man who is self-made is idolised by the Australian and American modern societies, but in mythic Europe he's almost certainly a monster. Let's work this through. We think of the term mystery as a magical one, but what it means is secret. It is common in the indentures of medieval apprentices for it to state that they will be taught the mysteries of their masters, that is, the professions. We in ours have sometimes used this as an excuse to slip in some domestic spellcrafting, but it means in the real world the tricks that make the trade possible. For a blacksmith, the colours of heated metal and the way of striking the metal are mysteries. Every profession has its own mysteries. Every child, becoming an adult, learns mysteries and is tested in these mysteries by mystagogic superiors before being allowed to display the product of the mysteries or teach the mysteries themselves. The tests can be as difficult as producing a masterpiece or as simple as sticking the trousers of the beer inspector to a stool, but the mysteries exist, and the tests exist. Practical knowledge comes through a framework of teaching. The self-made man, who springs from nothing to mastery, is outside the framework. He is an impossible thing, and a dangerous thing. Later, under Protestantism, his wealth can be seen as a hint that he is one of the elect. Alternatively, in Australia, the assumption is that wealthy people are members of the aristocracy, and the self-made man is throwing up two fingers to the aristocracy. In the Renaissance, many self-taught virtuosos gathered about them legends, which suggested they had gained the mysteries through dark, seldom trodden paths, through sacrifices to devils or by tricking fairies. Such people could not be trusted with the mysteries, because mysteries hide themselves. Mysteries are dangerous. And that sounds mystical, but it isn't. Here I don't just mean that they're spiritually dangerous, although that was certainly one widely held idea. Those who have become masters without grinding effort have a tendency to pride. The danger is real and physical, because the mysteries are industrial processes. An unskilled miller may not spot the ergot in the rye flour. A foolish blacksmith can burn down a village. An incautious tanner can spread the flux. Who knows if these prideful prodigies have learned the necessary cautions of their trades? Just because you're in the visual or performing arts doesn't make you immune to industrial accidents. In mythic Europe, the arts have a role in raising the spirit towards salvation. This is most strongly noted after the Gothic period starts suggesting that the beauty of the world can be used to teach the illiterate. If music can lift the soul to within easy reach of grace, if a beautiful painting can turn a man from carnality and sordid pleasures, can these techniques, the very keys to the minds of men, be given to people who have bargained for them with the creatures of shadow? In hearing this, I immediately wondered if this, in part, is what is fueling the Tremare tendency to recognise far more redcaps than the house itself does. They presumably know that there is a cult of the new Hermes, which claims sacred blood and recent revelations from a messianic figure. Its people practice odd, flexible mystagogery, whose initiates tailor their rituals to suit themselves. All of this sounds dangerous to the medieval mindset, where the self-made man is not the hero, but the monster the hero must fight. When the new Hermes is amoral, who will oppose him? The old Hermes, on which he models himself and who he claims to be, was a trickster god of merchants and liars and thieves. Even if you do not oppose him, he's no better than Loki or Anansi. He may plunge the world into chaos just for amusement. In mythic Europe, how does a false prophet like that fall?